Hello, everybody, and welcome to another podcast of the Benefit Builders. Myself, Brian Gleiss,
Matt Spade.
and
Mark Lassie.
we are the Benefit Builders, coming at all of you business owners out there, simply helping you to attract and retain top talent in your industry. So your employee benefits is a tool that a lot of times you as the business owner will not have time to devote attention to because you're running a business. Well, that's where someone like the Benefit Builders can come in and assist you. We want to be your trusted advisor. When we do this, we use a tool by the name of the Pillars of Excellence, and it allows us to go through the four main pillars, which is cost, compliance, administration, and technology. The Pillars of Excellence is a tool that we use that helps everyone stay on course. I'll put the pillars up on the screen so that you can take a look at the four main pillars, and you'll notice the base of the Pillars of Excellence is our concierge team approach. We want to be an extension of your team. Today, during our podcast, we want to talk about human resources. It's the topic that everybody wants to talk about. It is so much fun. Now, depending on the makeup of your company, whether you have 10 people, 100 people, 500, or 1,000, human resources may mean different things to you. But what we know as your benefit builders and trusted advisors is the devil's in the details. And there's never any more details than when it comes to human resources. Mark, I refer to you all the time as the architect, and you were kind enough to bring me up to speed and make me aware of the Keystone Circle of Services a while back. And we've used this Keystone Circle of Services, and I'll put this up on the screen as well, to help our clients. Mark, tell us a little bit about the Circle of Services and how we use it.
Sure, Brian. The Circle of Services is just an easy graphical way to identify key areas within the world of human resources, everyday personnel issues that could distract someone that's wearing multiple hats. We often find in our client settings that who has responsibility for HR may also have responsibility for finance, may also have responsibility for a piece of the operating model. So what we like to do is inform our clients that we have access to resources that can lift the administrative burden of human resource management in a way to help them stay compliant.
Right on. Okay, Mr. CEO. All right. Mr. Head of the organization, and the organizational flow chart flows through, and it's got a lot of Matt Spates on it. So when we take a look at the human resources list here, the FMLA administration, if you had access to a company that could take that legal battle off of your hands, knowing our litigious society and knowing everything that goes into that, is that something you would want to Google and learn how to do FMLA? Or would you go ahead and send it to the experts over here?
No, that's something that me as a business owner would love to divert off to someone else, knowing that I'm going to pay for that service, but that I could take something like that off my desk.
So the most important thing about that, and we just did this with one of my largest clients, is we did take the FMLA portion of this and let the Keystone Circle of Services handle it. Why? Because it's not just utilizing individuals that are trained and degreed in human resources, but it's also having the legal backup of that. And you're not having to hire those individuals. So let me hit you again as the CEO of our company. A handbook, all right? You're just going to go through and you're going to do the handbook, or are you going to allow a service that can make sure that they cross the T's and dot the I's and get everything in there that protects your backside? Do you just want to freelance it on WordPress, or do you want to hire someone that's actually going to have some teeth in there if things come to pass?
Good question. So when I started here, we of course had a handbook, and we revamped that handbook 10 to 12 years ago. And we did use an outside service through one of Keystone vendors to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I would highly recommend. They would touch on a lot of these circles of services here, things that we need in our handbook that maybe we didn't think about, or things we have in our handbook that an attorney might say, I don't think you want to put that in there. And it was very, very helpful and eye-opening for us.
And one of the things that we just went through that this large employer found so exciting is what I call phone a friend. Okay. It's where they had a situation, they weren't sure what to do or who to call, but they knew it was human resources related as far as that goes. So the phone a friend aspect. Mark, go ahead.
Brian, phone a friend, we also call it HR hotline. So it gives our clients an opportunity to dial in without cost and have a conversation about important HR issues that they want to make sure they handle right. I'd like to go back and revisit FMLA administration and or the handbook. I think what we're able to do is button down on those areas that could lead to discrimination and just simple mistakes that if a disgruntled employer or employee would approach the DOL or hire an attorney, having the assurance that you've worked with an outside advisor can keep you out of the penalty area. I would also like to say that what we try to do is make available to our clients resources such as training videos, templates for various different type of HR issues like onboarding or termination, or when you have to take some type of an HR action. So these clients have access to libraries to pull down information. Again, that's probably the first step you take until you reach a point where you might need some other outside help. But what it does is it brings down the cost of HR to where, yes, you're asking your resource to take some first level action, but also we're there to help supervise that action and work together before they call an attorney and start ringing up expenses.
No, absolutely. And our role as benefit builders, our role as trusted advisors, using the pillars of excellence, because truly this HR circle of services and things like that touches on every single pillar of success, whether that's cost, communication, compliance, or administration. So we want to be your trusted advisor. If your current advisor is not thinking outside of the box, is not only talking to you about ways to improve your employee benefits program, your ancillary programs like your dental, your disability, cancer plans, those types of things, and also at least asking the questions that needed to be asked about HR, we want to encourage you to call the Scott Agency and work with us as your benefit builders. Let us show you what the foundation of the pillars of excellence is built on, which is that concierge service, where we're talking to you, we're talking to your team, we're talking to the person that you've put in charge of your employee benefits, not only on site visits, but we'll send out quarterly videos to your employees just to make sure we're continuing to work on best practices, continuing to take the trends. And it's one of the things that Mark Blassie does so well with us is he takes those trends, he boils them down, and it's why I call him the architect, is because he allows us to know when to pivot. And all three of us is what makes up the benefit builders. And I'm kind of proud of that, because just like I'm telling you that your name should not be in every single position of your organizational chart, neither should mine as far as the benefit builders. Go ahead, Mark.
Brian, before we get into our recap, I think it's important that HR services, not just around employee benefits, but also risk management. And perhaps Matt can talk a little bit about safety and how that can help with workers' compensation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, thanks, Mark. One thing I wanted to touch on real quick is all of you have HR issues that you deal with on a daily basis. Whether you do it all yourself, whether you have an assistant in the office that helps you, or whether you have a whole team of HR, I can guarantee you they all need help. Mm-hmm. There's something in here that we can help them with. So, Mark, here's an example. So a trucking operation or a business that has a fleet of vehicles, how many things on the circle of services would be helpful to that company? And there's lots. Drug and alcohol testing, fleet maintenance, DOT compliance,
Driver,
accident investigation.
yeah, driver qualifications. So when we say the devil's in the details, we have the individuals that can go in and scrub out those details to make your program, again, as efficient as possible. That's really all I'm looking to do. We have had the opportunity to come in and look at programs, and you know what? We didn't change much about the program other than the administration. The benefit builders became the program administrators, and then we helped you dig in, dive down through employee surveys, through our own communications together with you to find out what's important and slot where each one of these items go, use the pillars of excellence, and form a plan. So Mark, in closing, what do you think about HR department ? And our approach with the pillars?
How many times do we ask the question and we get the same answer? What is your most important asset? People. How do you manage people? Through HR services in a department. We want to make sure that we're helping you keep your investments and the return on those investments on point with your employees.
Absolutely. Matt, anything in closing?
No, I agree completely. Like I said, I can guarantee there's something on the Circle of Services that we can help you with, and we'd love to be a part of your team.
And my closing is going to be, let the benefit builders show you the value that we bring to the table. It doesn't cost you anything, but in today's world, when you want service, I don't care whether it's at a restaurant or whether it's at a bank or whether it's through an insurance institution, I guarantee you're struggling a little bit with the service that's out there. What I want to tell you is the benefit builders, we are not perfect. We are not podcasters. We are insurance agents. And our goal is to make your business grow. Believe it or not, it's to make your business grow. And as your business grows, we get to say, yeah, I was part of that. So we just want to help. We want to be part of your team. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Please share this podcast with others that you think might find value in it. Thank you very much for your time. Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.